What's up, everybody? I've got an update on electricity stuff. So if you remember when Chris and I moved in, we had to get electric sorted out here because there was no electricity. There was, but it was 20 years old and not in good condition. So like I have, if you look up there, there's a conduit running along the length of the house over there, which goes over there to my air conditioner unit for the office. And that is the new wiring that we got installed when we moved in. We put 4 circuits in the house. Everything was good for the first couple of years, and then last summer we started having issues where anytime my air conditioning would flip on, the lights would flicker. And it got progressively worse last summer, and it eventually, my PlayStation burned up. While it was in rest mode, we had one of the flickers and everything went out, and it burned it up. And thankfully I had it under warranty and I was able to get it replaced. This year it's gotten progressively worse, and we have a body shop neighbor, and probably around the beginning of the year, anytime he welds, our entire house lights would just completely start flickering in time with him welding. And because of last year, I bought, because of one of my machines blowing up, I bought UPSs for my office, which are like mini generators, right? To help avoid those kind of issues. And it's gotten so bad over the past few months that anytime he's welding, my UPS devices will just start like literally powering on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Like it was bad to the point where when he would weld, I would literally have to stop whatever I was doing, shut off all my devices, turn the UPS devices off, and just wait for him. And we assumed that it was like some sort of wiring issue somewhere, but the problem is tracking it down and figuring out where the issue is. So one of the things we did was we were able to contract the guy who works on our air conditioner, and we were like, hey, we'd like to just let's do a complete revision of everything here, and let's start replacing things because it's all 20 plus years old and we don't know what the issue is. It's also really windy, guys, so but we have family company over, so I'm not recording this video inside. So he, in the process, also one of the things I talked about when we first moved in, this house is all in 110. There was never a 220. So one of the things we just hired him to do was pull 220 to our house. So now we have, we did an augment, so we now have 2 110 lines coming to our power box, which is different than they do it in the States, where you have like a 110 box and a 220 box, and the 220 box is for your things like your washer and dryer and your central air and stuff like that. They don't do it that way here. So I mean, you could do it that way, but anyway, he ran a new 110 for us. We had to replace the old one because we were just like, hey, just replace it while you're up there just in case. And because he was, on our end on the house, up on the roof, he was like, everything looks great here, I think we'll be okay. But then this morning when he was actually doing the connect over to the power line, he comes in, he comes in with this, and he's like, well, I think I found what the problem was. So I don't know how well this is going to show up on this video. So inside of here is, it's not going to want to focus, but if you've ever looked inside of a cable, there's 7-8 pieces of wire that are bundled together, right, that form the actual cable, and that's what the electricity flows through. They are all of them cut through and worn through, other than one little filament. There's one little piece in there that is still connecting. So this was up at the top, and other things over the past 20 years, people had wrapped things around this in a way that was not supposed to be done. And just over time, it had worn through to the point where all of our power was trying, it's supposed to be coming through everything. It was all trying to go through a single strand. And this is all burnt around the edge right there, where it's just been shorting out and like burning up at the top of that light pole. So today, that has been fixed. And we now have, I can actually go over here and look at the front of the house. Outside here, so there's lots of noise. So we actually have that right there, that's where the old meter box was. And Chris went to the Power Commission today to replace a new power meter, a new electric meter for 220. So we now have 220 coming to the house, which is also good in the long run, because now it means that, like, this living room here behind me, we can actually, because it's a bigger room, we were always wondering, like, well, if we're going to get an air conditioner in there, we're not going to be able to get a big enough mini split on a 110. We're going to have to eventually move to 220. And now that we've moved to 220, we can actually put like a 2-ton, a bigger air conditioner unit, a mini split in there, because we have a 220 coming to the house now. As far as appliances go, we're never going to have any sort of like heavy duty stuff that's going to require a 220 here, but we can get like a better air conditioner. Anyway, this was the culprit. Everything seems to be working normal now. We're going to wait to see what it's like when he starts welding again, because there definitely is an issue here with like overpower. Like the transformer here is old, and it's overloaded, completely overloaded. And during like June, it's like May and June, there's always lots of power outages because of the overload on the power transformer. But we're really curious to see what it's like when he starts welding again, because as of right now, there's really not anything noticeable when we turn on the microwave, or when my air conditioner flips on now, or when the washing machine's running. We've tested a bunch of stuff this morning, and it appears that everything was down to this little 20-year-old cable that had been completely worn through because of a faulty installation, or just people, other people putting stuff up there and not paying attention and overlapping stuff over that, and it would just cut through over time. Anyway, it took us a year of troubleshooting to figure out what it was. Because it was definitely like last summer we noticed that we were starting to have flickering, but it got really bad around March of this year, where we were like, we gotta figure this out. And then just through the course of starting to troubleshoot everything over the past few months, we were finally able to figure out what it was. Fingers crossed. Anyway, home ownership, yay. I'm gonna go back to it now because it's hot outside. I'm gonna go back into my air conditioner.